Hi everyone, and welcome to the third video in the pelvic floor series. Today we are going to focus on some more challenging movements and ways that you can connect your pelvic floor while you're doing harder things like lifting or more full body exercises. So first we're going to start in a seated position, and I want you to take both hands and put it on the sides of your rib cage, so not in this squishy place but right on those bones there. And we're going to do our pelvic floor check-in. So you're going to take a deep breath, inhaling, exhale, letting go. Inhale, the pelvic floor goes down. Exhale, the pelvic floor lifts a little bit. Two more breaths. Just connecting to those muscles. Good. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our cat-cow just to get a little bit of some more pelvic floor activation before we get going and to get some spine mobility in. So you're going to go to a tabletop position, and you're going to be arching your back down, inhaling, exhaling, curling under. So we're going to go back and forth. Inhale, relax, open the space between your hips. Exhale, lift and curl your tailbone underneath you. Let's do two more. Okay, we're going to move back onto our back. We're going to revisit those glutes that we did the last video. So you're going to bend your knees up, but this time you're going to have one foot slightly in front of the other. So what this is going to do, it's going to force you to just use one leg, or one leg a little bit more than the other. So when we lift, you're going to think about pushing your weight down through your heel to really focus on just the left glute. So we're going to do 10 like this. And if you remember from the last video, we exhale when we lift, inhale when we lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Two more. Excellent. We're going to switch sides. So now the left foot comes out a little bit, the right foot is bent up. You're going to push your weight through your right heel and exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Really feel that right glute kicking in, not the low back. And one more. Nice work. We go back to the left side. Right foot comes out a little bit for that stagger stance. We inhale, exhale, lift. And one more. Okay, last side, we've got 10 on this side. Really focus on lifting up just through the glutes. Inhale, exhale, lift. 3 more. And last one. Okay, nice job. So now we're gonna switch the core a little bit. So you're gonna come up on your toes here, and then you're just gonna focus on marching each leg. If you can, actually try to like lift up like you're gonna do that bridge. So you've got your core engaged, you've got your pelvic floor lifted a little bit, and then from here, you're gonna lift a little bit more. Try not to let your body rock too much side to side. This is pretty challenging. You can really feel those glutes. And last one, and lower down. Good job with that. Take a little break there. We can kind of swipe our legs side to side. Get some mobility going in the back and the hips. And then we've got one more set. So you go up on the toes, and if you want, come into that partial bridge, and then we're marching. Trying not to let the trunk sway side to side. One more. And lower down. Nice job. Okay, so next we're going to come into a standing position. And we are going to do a little bit of a single leg stance. So this seems like a really easy exercise, but it is a great skill to have no matter what age you are. And we're going to do it a little bit differently, so it should feel a little bit more difficult. So the first thing, you're going to plant your right foot, and I want you to really ground down, grabbing the floor with your toes. Then I want you to think about activating your whole leg. So you're turning on the side of your bum here and the back. With your left leg, you're going to pick it up, and then you're going to move it out to the side a little bit. And with this, you should really feel this right side. It's called your glute medius. You should really feel that turn on and working there. If you don't feel it, check your pelvis here and see if your hips are pointed forwards. Sometimes we start, going up and down, but we want them to be straightforward, and we want those glutes to be really turned on here. So we're just going to hold it. I can definitely feel it. All right, and then we're going to set our foot down, switch to the left side. So the left toes grab the floor. You're thinking about getting strong through this whole left leg, turning on this left side glute muscle and the back glute muscle. Then lifting the right leg, bringing it out to the side a little bit, and hold it. Feel that slow burn on the left outer hip. Good job. Okay. The right side one more time. Feet ground down. Strong through the outside of the hip. Lift the left leg. Bring it out to the side. Pelvis stays pointed forward. Concentrating maybe on a spot in front of you so you don't lose your balance. And good job. Last time. Toes grab the ground, left leg is strong, right leg lifts up and out. So you can see how we really need our pelvis to be really stable, especially when we are standing on one foot, like when we go running, or stepping up and down stairs or over a curb. Okay, nice job. So we're going to keep working on one foot, but now we're going to add a little hip hinge. So this is going to add a little bit more challenge for the glute. So standing on the right leg, this time we're going to add a little bit more core. So you're going to think about zipping up your core. Your pelvis kind of tucks down a little bit, and you're going to lift up through the pelvic floor. Good job. And then we're going to tip forward just a bit and then come back up to standing. I'm going to shift to the side for you. So standing on one leg, sending the hips backwards, keeping the chest nice and tall, and then coming back up. You should really feel this on that right glute. Let's keep going here. So it's almost like you're a little puppet who has a hinge joint through the hips, and no movement in the back at all. 2 more. Okay, nice job. Let's do the other side. So left leg grounds down, sending those hips backwards and back up to standing. One side might be a little bit more difficult than the other side. That's okay. When you're coming back up, so right here, you're thinking about really engaging that glute to pull your hip straight. 2 more. Okay, got our right side. Gonna knock out 10 of these. When you're bending forward, the glute is actually lengthening and then contracting when you're coming back up. So you actually want a little bit of relaxation in the butt when you're going back. So relaxing, lengthening, squeezing to come up. 2 more here. Okay, last side. Getting that good single leg stance. The glutes relax, and then they squeeze. Always pushing through that leg, just like we did before this when we were just practicing standing on one leg. Getting all of those leg muscles fired up. 2 more. And last one. Okay, excellent. So now we're going to move on to a squat. You can just do a body weight squat for this, or you can grab a weight. If you want to use a weight, you can either rack it in the front. This is going to be a little more, you'll feel this one a little bit more than if you just have the weight hanging down here. But I'm going to turn to the side for you. We are going to work our pelvic floor cues into this. So when we're going down, we're inhaling. And then when we're coming back up, we're exhaling. So we're exhaling, that means the pelvic floor is lifting. We want to exhale when we are doing the hardest part of a movement. So we're going to inhale and then exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. And with squats, you really want to make sure that your hips are going backwards. We're going to get more out of our glutes this way. Got a few more here. Exhale on the way up, feeling that pelvic floor lift. Two more. Great. Good work. Let's take a little breather, and then we're going to do one more set of those. Okay, when you're ready, you're going to take your squat stance. You're going to inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You can tell that I'm squeezing my glutes a little bit more at the top. I like to do that just to make sure that I'm getting that full hip range of motion. Really actually using the glutes for this exercise. Two more. Good work with that. Okay, so we're going to keep targeting those glutes and the core. We're going to do a little good morning exercise. So with your weight, you're going to keep this close to your body the whole time. If you're like me and you have really tight hamstrings, you're just going to be lowering down until you feel a good stretch, really not trying to push past that too much. So again, with our pelvic floor, we're inhaling on the lowering part, and we're exhaling and lifting our pelvic floor during the hard part of the exercise. So for the good morning, we're going to hinge just at the hips, keeping the back up tall. And then we're going to exhale as we come back up. So we're going to inhale, exhale, squeeze. Do a few more here, keeping that back flat. You might be able to go much lower than this. That's great. But I just want you to think about when you get to that point where the weight is as close to the floor as it's going to get, that then you really turn on those glutes and hamstrings to pull you back up, not your back. Two more. Good job. Okay, shake it out a little bit. Got one more set. So this time we're going to try a different technique you can use for activating your pelvic floor. So we're going to actually make an audible sound when we exhale. And what that does is it just makes sure that you're not using your breath and that you are exhaling during the hard part of the exercise. So we're going to use a sound. So you're going to inhale. Two more. Okay, good job with that. All right, so our next movement is going to be a lunge. So I'm just going to rearrange this mat a little bit so you can see. So you're going to have one foot, maybe your left foot in front of you, and then you're going to take your right foot pretty far back. As you might be able to guess, we're going to inhale when we lower, and we're going to exhale when we come back up. So inhale, exhale, lift. If you can't really find your balance here, it's okay to use a stick or a railing just to hold on to something. But inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You should feel a nice stretch through the hip here. One more. Nice job. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So right foot forward, left foot back. We've got 10 of these here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. You can use that sound if you want. Two more. And last one. Okay, good job. I'm going to shake it out a little bit, and then we've got one more set on each side. So it's good to practice this without weight, coordinating the breath with the pelvic floor. When you start adding weight, you're going to really notice how much better it feels to be lifting the weight and having your pelvic floor lift at the same time. So inhale is when you'd be lowering, exhale, lift. Got another set of 10 here. And we'll switch sides. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Just drawing up, trying to draw that belly button up towards you, that area between your hips, trying to draw that up towards you. Two more. Okay, good job. So the last thing that we're going to do is just a little bit of mobility. Since we practiced on contracting our pelvic floor, we want to make sure that we loosen it up too. So on hands and knees, we're just going to do some hip circles here, one leg at a time. So just moving in a counterclockwise direction and then switching it up to the opposite side. Can't really do these wrong. Maybe just 5 or so in each direction. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Make sure you're going in both directions. You can definitely feel my glutes have worked out. Okay, and before we do our final stretch, I want to show you one more exercise because a lot of exercises we do from a plank position, and there are some pelvic floor cues that you can know there. So let's try to do a little bit of a modified push-up since that's a really common exercise. So I'm going to do this on my knees. My arms aren't super strong, but when I'm here, so my butt's not up here and it's not drooping down, it's kind of like when we were in tabletop. You have a nice neutral spine and you're thinking about zipping that core up, so bringing your belly button towards you and lifting that area in that diamond shape, or that area right between your legs, like you're trying to draw a blueberry up towards you through your body. So you're going to lift and hold that. You're going to inhale on the way down. Exhale on the way up. So we're going to do a few more here. Two more. And last one. Okay. So coming onto the back here, we'll just do one more stretch that we haven't done yet. So you're gonna take your right ankle on top of your left knee, and then you're gonna bring your left knee in towards you. And I like to loop my hands around because I feel like I can get more stretch that way. But for some people, this will be enough. So you're just gonna hold it here. You should feel that on the back of your right glute there. And just drawing our attention to our pelvic floor, using that breath to really expand that area. You can feel the pressure when you inhale, pushing down, giving it a nice stretch. Okay, and then we're going to switch sides. Feeling the stretch on the back of the left glute. Big, deep breaths in. Letting your ribs expand to the sides. Okay. Well, that wraps up our series. I hope you had as much fun as I did, and good luck with your pelvic floor.